Happy Saturday, world. It's me, your big boy Robbo. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Good start to the day. 21k trail run. Thanks for coming with the boys. UTA prep. Use my vest, put the pack on. Packed it out to race weight with all the mandatory gear and ran with that. Definitely makes a difference. I felt really good to start. It's a noticeable difference. Like, I don't know the exact weight of that pack with all the stuff in it, but when you throw it on, like, it's noticeable. But it took me sort of 10Ks to really get my rhythm, and the back half, the legs are actually shooting a lot better, which is good. But yeah, it's just training with that, making that the new normal, running with the vest. I like running without a shirt on, so to throw the vest on is like, I don't want to do it. But no, it's all good. It's part of the process. Summer's going to be over soon. Going to need to run with that more. But yeah, overall feeling pretty good. Tomorrow will be a recovery day. They're the hard days, I think. I was just listening to Rich Roll, and it's around pain and achievements and what that represents, and our association with pain. And I can definitely relate to that in terms of, it's like, for me, there's been moments in my life of actions that I've taken and how I get love and support when I do things that are associated with pain. So for me, it's like, pain is like an escape. It numbs my emotions at the time. And it's like, in order to receive love, validation from myself and the world, it's like I have to be in pain, which is like fascinating listening to Rich talk about that. And then I could really relate to it. It's like, wow, I think it's something that I've noticed before, but it's like fully been aware of that. And it's okay to do these challenges, but it's like, what's fueling that? What's the motivation for it? And it's fascinating to see. But yeah, ideas are flowing. Just a change of direction of what I do with my time. Feeling good. Continually just trying to work on my mindset, work on just the way that it feels like it's my external world, and I think a lot of us are in this place of fear and worry and stress, and everything is the external world and how we have to change. I feel drawn to things. It's like, instead of picking up my phone, I go, getting lost in it, instead of, I feel like I have to do this and that. It's like, these are all things that are driven by the brain, and it's about how can I just being aware of these actions, because a lot of it's unconscious doing. And it's really coming back to the just being, and like constantly catching myself coming back and just trying to rewire the internal constructs of my being, and disassociating from the mind, and knowing that I'm not my thoughts. And I spend so much time in the future, the past, and it's like, how can I bring this back to the now? And it's like reminding myself that in this moment, I look around, everything is perfect in this moment. I have no threats. I have nothing to worry about. And it's like, this is all that matters, is the now and this present moment. And constantly just like pulled back, and it's just the way the mind operates and its function and its patterns and the story and the beliefs and all these things. It's just like it just runs and it just goes. And it's like if I can really just harness being in the now, and it will allow me to have so much more energy and clarity for this moment, as opposed to just being like living my life in the future. So it's like one of the, if you can master your mind and operate at a higher state of consciousness, I think it is like something that is so beneficial and unique in the world we live in. And it's almost like the disease, a parasite of the mind, this negativity that is consuming so many of us. And I've been to the depths of the mind and what it can do and how it can work against you, and it's taken me to some pretty dark places, but it's like I am out of that, and it's my emotional stability and the joy, and just to constantly come back to this place of like homeostasis and just be so, I think that's what a lot of people are drawn to within myself, and it's a unique characteristic, is my emotional stability and how I energetically can show up for myself and the world, and people are drawn to that. And it's like the more centered and present I can be myself, the more it draws in the right people into my world. And yeah, I think it's just that purity of mind and the comparison and the judgment of others, and just these negative thought patterns that don't serve me. And it's like, I'm such a empathetic and kind person, and I think just accepting people for who they are and not passing judgment. And the mind is just constantly filtering the world and people and events and possible things that could never happen, and just like bringing those into the now, and how that creates confusion. And it's just being in the present and feeling into your heart and soul, and whatever that feeling, that undercurrent of the self, and how that is the true origin of you. And it's something that I believe doesn't really change with time, you know. It's like that's still your soul, and your heart are your true being. And I know that I will and can achieve whatever I make out to do. And I think it's just being kind to myself and coming from a place of love and having that within myself. And it's like, whatever I do or don't do, I still love me unconditionally, and I don't have to do anything really, you know, to prove to myself. And coming from that place and being content with that, and it's like, how can I do these things from a place of, come from a place of acceptance of self, coming from a place of like, I fully accept me and love me, and I don't need that from anyone else, nor myself, nor my achievements have to be to a certain degree or level in order to give myself permission to love myself. And I think something that really came into my mind today, and something that's comes up like every now and then, is people the change within my physical body in a relatively short amount of time. And I often think about it, and people like have seen old versions of me being on the journey a bit and then see this transformation. And I believe it's a combination of a couple of things coming together, but anyone can do it. And it's a combination of mindset, nutrition and exercise, and having those in balance. I think nutrition, like briefly I'll just say, is for me has just been quantity of food. And I think the thing that's changed, I would say, the last year is the quantity. Like, I do maintain a high level of physical exertion, and with that you have to track that to know what is going out in order to, well, track the outgoing and the ingoing, so what you consume and then how much physical exertion you have and the calories gained and burnt, and trying to be, and being obviously in surplus with that in order to fuel my lifestyle. Also, just, I guess I've already really adapted it, but something to expand on is just my belief in just wholesome foods, wholesome, nutritious food, just like consuming stuff that hasn't been, what's the word, things that are, oh my God, it slipped my mind. Foods and process, oh God. Avoiding highly processed foods. My diet is predominantly of stuff that's quite unprocessed and refined. It's in its purest form, and it just cuts out when foods are processed to these levels, like you're taking away its nutrient density, and it's each time something is changed, it's like there's a loss there. And also the additives, that you just want things that will die, won't last, because that's when you know, things that are alive, like if they need to be in a fridge, or fruits or veggies, and they've got an expiry date, like the things that will last for years on a shelf are not good for us. For me, it's staying away from fatty foods, stuff that is high in cholesterol. Drinking a lot of water is a big one too. Of drinking more. I've got the filtered water now. Drinking a lot of just really, just pure water, the quantity, and I feel it's probably the big differences with my skin. But just coming back to the original concepts, and it is the nutrition, fitness, obviously incorporating more resistance training with doing some weightlifting and that. And then mindset's the other one. Like I sort of just had I could just visualize what I wanted to look like, and believing that's achievable. And then I think a combination of all these things would, it's not tested, but I believe it's raised my testosterone level as well. And I really like the hybrid athlete sort of physique, and Nick Bear's someone that I look up to, and I was like, if I believe that I can achieve it, and I can put on muscle mass and size and still do the activities that I want, I think previously it's probably a combination of not eating enough food, so then you'd start burning through muscle, food, and then being in quite a depressive state a lot of that time is something that lowers your testosterone levels. Probably eating a lot more meat as well. I really focus on just lean meats, like a lean cut of steak, chicken breast, usually some fish every week, but protein intake's a big one, and trying to keep that up. Definitely a lot of it is, I think, recovery, and even changing my pre, intra, and like post fueling. I think that really helps with your just the after the recovery time. Really, we not eating before an intra workout opens up this space in between where you don't have sufficient minerals and nutrients in your body to help the recovery process. So by the time the body has absorbed those and is ready to use them from food, it's like you're already too late. You're behind the 8 ball, and that's where you spend more time trying to... Your body just doesn't recover as quick, like, because it doesn't have what it needs to fuel that recovery. And I think that's a critical part of any physical exercise, is having that plan of post race, how you fuel yourself. And yeah, it's fascinating, constantly just learning along the way. Sometimes I just fuck it and figure it out. It's just the way I learn, and I'm sort of okay with that. Like, try something, didn't work, try something different, and yeah, that's just where I'm at. And heading down to Bondi soon, so can't wait to get down there, see Amanda. Life is good. Happy Saturday. Yeah.